everyone, and welcome back. Today's mani is a collaboration between myself and my bestie. Her name is Ginny. She is also known as Purpliciousdipz on YouTube and Instagram. I will link her information down below. But I was really in the mood to do some kind of Friendsgiving type collaboration. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized it was going to be a lot of work. And I decided to keep it really simple and just do a collab with my bestie. So it's not a mani twin, but it's more like a these are the colors we're going to use, let's get creative kind of thing. So I decided to use sweet black cherries from 𝕔𝕙𝕒𝕟𝕟𝕟𝕟𝕟. You had me at Merlot from Color My World, and this is from the collaboration they did with Chelsea from Sip and Dip. It's beautiful. And then this is Rio from 𝕙𝓮𝓼𝓼. Beautiful, beautiful deep teal. And then PSL Pumpkin Spice Latte from Bombshell Nail Co. And Sunflower from Panda Dips. Yes, it is a smorgasbord of products in this video. These are some flakies that I got on Amazon. All the products that I'm using in this mani will be linked down in the description box as well. And we'll talk more about those flakies when we get to them. These are my new gel products that I've been using lately from Iconic. They are hypoallergenic and I have had no issues with them so far. So we're going to jump right into this mani. And honestly, this is probably the easiest part of the whole manicure. I'm just going to dip into all these colors, one color on each nail. And I am doing 3 full dips of these colors, and I'll tell you why. Usually, I am a 2 dip of color, 1 dip of clear girl. But the tips that I'm wearing, for some reason, seemed really flat to me. Now, I've used these tips before, and I don't know if it's the application that I did or what, but they just seemed a little bit flat. So I am doing 3 dips and sort of an apex method, but not really, just to kind of create a little bit more of an apex on these particular tips. So that's why I'm doing that. I do show all 3 dips in this video, but I only do the first dip in real time, and then I just kind of speed through the second 2 dips just so that, you know, you can kind of see what I do, but it's not going to take a million years to get there. So I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the dipping process. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the collaboration, I guess, because, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory what I'm doing. If I find that there is anything I need to explain, I will, but it's pretty much just straight dipping. The only difference is I do pour over sweet black cherries on my thumb because I've used a lot of this color and the jar is only about halfway full, and it was just a little bit challenging on my other hand to get a full coverage in there. So it was just easier to pour it over. That's the only reason I'm doing that. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about how this collaboration came about. The truth is, I just kind of talked my girl Ginny into doing this with me. I don't know. It was like an idea I came up with, and I had pondered kind of inviting other you know, influencers to join, and I just kind of felt like I've been a part of collaborations on YouTube before, and I saw the work that went into it by the person who was organizing it, and with everything going on in my life right now, I realized that was probably biting off more than I could chew. Oh, by the way, before I move on with the rest of this story, I wanted to show this. This is a little vacuum cleaner that I got off of Amazon, and my girl Ginny, who I'm doing this collab with, is the one that told me about this. And I've had all kinds of desktop vacuums, but that one is amazing. It's going to be down in the description box for you as well. So anyway, continuing with my story about this little collab here, after realizing that that was a lot more than I wanted to take on, I kind of mentioned my idea to Ginny, and I kind of threw a bunch of color palettes in her direction and said, do you like any of these? What stands out to you? Do you have any ideas? These are my ideas. And from that, we came up with this color palette. It was actually a color palette that I had found online. And it was probably one of 10 or maybe even 12 that I sent to Ginny to look at. And this is the one that won out. And then I realized that, oh my gosh, I have a inspo pic saved from Pinterest that I have been dying to do with this, almost this exact color palette. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just take the opportunity and I'm going to do this. It's slightly different than my inspo pic, but it's pretty darn similar. Anywho, that's how this whole thing came about. Ginny can blame me. That's okay. I'm going to take the blame for this one. But yeah, so I just thought it was going to be a whole lot of fun, and I really wanted to do this with her. And honestly, she's seen my mani, because I sent her a pic because I was like really excited, but I have not seen hers yet. So it's going to be a surprise for me, which is kind of cool. So I like that. I like that. Anyway, I'm really excited to see what she did with these colors. So now that I've finished all 3 dips, I'm going to encapsulate my colors with clear dip powder, and then I am going to get to filing and shaping. While I'm encapsulating, I just wanted to say a couple of words about why I am thankful for Ginny. We've known each other probably, gosh, close to 6 years or more now. And we have a lot in common. We have the same favorite color. We have similar tastes in makeup and nail stuff and other things as well. But she's always been kind of my sounding board, maybe a little bit my conscience, kind of like Jiminy Cricket. I will admit that sometimes, you know, I come to her with things and she's just kind of that calming voice of reason, you know, that voice that we all need in the back of our head to say, hey, slow down, take a minute, just take a beat and don't jump into reacting kind of thing. And I have always appreciated that about her, even though sometimes it's kind of a little bit of tough love. I don't know what I'd do without her. Plus, we can always have a good laugh together, which is super awesome. Anyway, that's why I'm thankful for my friend Ginny, and I'm so grateful to have her in my life. And even if we don't get to chat every single day, I know that I can talk to her anytime about anything and vice versa. So we all need friends like that, right? All right, so I'm going to stop yapping now and let you all finish watching me encapsulate these beautiful colors. And when I come back, we're going to talk about these foils. Oi, oi, as my grandmother would say. Oi, these foils. Whew, they were kind of a pain, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I'm just jumping right back in to say that every single one of these colors applied beautifully. This is before filing and shaping. And then with a snap of a finger, I am all filed and shaped. I did that off camera as I usually do. But I do have my filing routine filmed for this mani, which I am going to edit and upload separately when I get a chance. But this is, okay. So this is the process that I chose to do for these foils. I am using my low odor dip base from Dipomania because it is a slower drying base. And I chose to do it this way because I wanted to show that you can apply foils like this without gel. Even though I am using a gel base and top coat at the end for the matte look, I did want to show that in fact you can use dip liquids to apply foils if you plan to not use gels. The thing that made this kind of a pain is that because before I filed and shaped and everything, I did activate the nail, it did make the base, even though it is a low odor base, dry a little bit more quickly than I would have liked. But it worked out in the end. It just took me a little bit longer because on some of the nails, which honestly, I am going to show you the first two, my pinky and my ring finger, and then I'm going to do the other ones off camera because Lord help me, it took me so long to get through it. So I'm not going to show all 5 nails because we would be here all day. And who's got time for that? So I'm going to show you how I get through my pinky and my ring finger, but the rest I will do off camera. Oh, and I wanted to mention the reason that I'm using tweezers instead of because usually when I apply foils, if I do a placement, I usually use an orange stick. But the orange stick was giving me, when I did my other hand, was giving me a lot of trouble. I couldn't get the foils to come because I think some of the base coat was getting on the tip of the orange stick and it was just sticking and I couldn't get the foils to stay on my nail. So I decided to use tweezers instead. And that did end up working a bit better. I mean, I still had, it still took me a long time, but the tweezers worked better for me. So I'm going to zip through getting these foils on my ring finger, and when I come back, we are going to talk about how I apply my gel base and matte top coat. Okay, that was a quicker break than I expected, but that's okay. We're going to get into this gel application. So I'm going to use my Iconic Easy base, and I am going to tell you, I put the thinnest, absolute thinnest layer of this base coat down as possible. I wiped that brush on the side of the bottle until there was almost nothing on the brush. And I'm doing that because I want to reduce the risk of the base running into my cuticles and flooding my sidewalls. I just am trying to be super, super careful about not getting product on my skin. So I wipe as much product off the brush as possible. I go as slow as I possibly can, and I stay away from my skin. Even though this is a product that is supposed to be hypoallergenic and all of that, I have had experience with other products that claim that, and I would still have a reaction. So even though I haven't had an issue with this product yet, I have had other products that I have used for weeks or months, and then all of a sudden I'll have a reaction to it. out of nowhere, even though I've been super, super careful. So I don't want to take any risks. So that's why I am being so careful with this product. But once I have base coat on all 5 of these nails, I'm going to cure. And again, I am probably being a little overly cautious, but I cured for a full minute, even though the bottle said in an LED lamp you can cure for 30 seconds. I decided that I just wanted to be double safe, and I cured for a full minute. So when I am done applying the base coat, I'm going to go in with the matte top coat. And the way that I do the matte top coat is a little different because with the matte top coat, you want to put a little bit of a thicker coat on because you want the surface of it to be smooth. So I put the top coat on, and then I turn my hand over to sort of let it level out because, you know, you want a matte nail to be really smooth. So I turn my hand over, and then I flash cure for 10 seconds before I move on to the next nail. And that is to make sure that that gel does not move into my sidewalls or my cuticle before I am done applying it to the rest of my nails. And then when all 5 nails have that matte top coat on it, then I do a full cure. And for the matte top coat, I wanted to be sure that it was going to be fully cured. So I did a full, I think 90 seconds of a cure for the matte top coat. And I so far have not had any issues with these gel products. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, all that jazz. So I'm going to finish applying the matte top coat, and when I come back, I'm going to have some final thoughts, and we'll wrap everything up. All right, fully cured, and I am ready to apply some whipped hand and body butter from Manny Chic Nails. This has been my go-to with the weather getting colder. My skin is drier, and I just love this whipped body butter. It is awesome. Well, you can put it on your hands and your body, but I use it only on my hands mostly. So it lasts forever because you don't need a whole lot. And I rub it into my cuticles, and then I rub it in all over my hands, and it is amazing stuff. So while I finish rubbing that all in, I was wondering, do you do a Friendsgiving celebration? My daughter, one of my daughters, is doing a Friendsgiving on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And I know that's something that a lot of people do. It's just, I don't think I've ever really done that. I mean, I've celebrated Thanksgiving with friends and family, but I haven't done a separate, like, Friendsgiving. Anyway, I want to know if that's something that you do, or if there's another way that you celebrate with friends around this time of year. If you feel like sharing that with me, go ahead and leave that down in the comments below. So now I'm taking some isopropyl alcohol on a lint-free wipe, and I am just cleansing all that oil off of each nail. Easy peasy, and voila, they're matte again. Anyway, I'm really excited that I was able to do this collab with my friend, and I am so grateful. I want to say thank you to Jeannie for taking the time to do this with me. It was a lot of fun. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit that like button. It lets me know to continue creating content like this for you. And it also helps YouTube recommend my channel to others. Thanks for being here. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye now.